This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for July 16, 2023. And in the news this afternoon, mother complains that a gifted footballer's son abducted by prominent high school. It is a woman's worst nightmare to find out that her voice is being ignored in determining the future of her child. This nightmare is reportedly now a reality for St. Catherine businesswoman Paula Richards, whose child has become the center of a tug-of-war between competing high school athletic programs. Her son, 17-year-old Dante Dakers, is a gifted footballer and a highly sought-after student athlete with excellent academic credentials. Earlier this week, she reported Dante, the captain of the Wolmer's Boys School 2022 Manning Cup team, missing to the division headquarters of the St. Catherine South Police. On Monday, he left the family home without her knowledge or her consent and did not return home. He has reportedly been training at a football camp in the hills of St. Thomas with other members of the Hydel High football team. At the time of the story's publication, he still had not returned home. Ms. Richards is incensed that despite her wishes, her son was transported from Hydel in St. Catherine to an undisclosed location in St. Thomas. And even after the intervention of the police several days ago, her son has not returned home. I am a single parent. I've raised him by myself for 17 years. So how these people have been able to abduct my child, transporting him to another parish without my consent for 6 days? Nobody could do this to Dr. Small's child, she told the news, making reference to Hydel principal Dr. Walton Small. Ms. Richards said that she had her initial suspicions that something was amiss when Dante's friends who attend Hydel High School came over to her house for the weekend and left after one night with overstuffed Puma bags packed full of gear and clothes. When I got up and looked around at 7 a.m. on Monday, Dante wasn't here. At first, I thought he had gone for early morning training at Cavaliers Football Club, but he would not normally have just left to go to Cavaliers training without telling me, she said. The boys then pack and go away with the clothes from the camp from Sunday. She said she tried to call her son several times, but he refused to answer. She chalked this up to an argument they had the week before, where he had suggested that he wanted to leave Wolmer's to attend Hydel in his final year of high school. Me tell Dante me go check out your brain because something is wrong with you. This is not one normal human being, she said. Ms. Richards said that there are forces determined to influence her son's future without her involvement while he was still a minor. She said that a member of a popular Premier League team's board had made offers to pay for SATs and other stuff, and there was an undue influence for him to switch schools and now attend Hydel High School, which is said to be a feeder for the club. I asked, what other stuff are you offered? He said, some other stuff. I may run him out of my room. You can't make some big man offer you things and spin your head, Miss Richards said. When she realized Monday that Dante was missing and not returning her calls, she called one of his friends who answered and said that Dante was at Hydel High School. It was then she said that she also spoke to a Hydel High board member to convince him to send her son back home. I told the board member to return him body back home. You wouldn't like me to come out there, she recounted. The board member said, you never gave him consent. I asked him how many boys you have up there at Hydel. He said 23. You got consent from them? He said yes. You got from me? He said no. He said we have a WhatsApp group for parents and I was going to put you in it. I said, board member, you couldn't put me in any WhatsApp group because we not hold no discussion. Me not entertain you with no discussion with my picnic for Hydel, she said. Nevertheless, her son never returned home. She became aware that he was in St. Thomas, but didn't know his exact location, so she reported him missing. On Monday, the police contacted her son via phone and advised him to return to the family home and also to report to the police to establish that he is no longer missing. Ms. Richards said she contacted Dr. Small, principal of Hydel High School, who said he had no knowledge that her son was in St. Thomas. Efforts by the news to get a comment from Dr. Small proved futile. Ms. Richards expressed dismay that her son may get sick because of the dust situation in St. Thomas. I would like my son to be returned to me so we can have a real conversation about his future. These people are vultures. They are recruiting my child without my consent. I can't deal with the blatant disrespect. Dante will be going to Heidel over my dead body, she said. In 2020, the Intersecondary Schools Sports Association responded to stories of abuse of student athletes and the wildcat recruiting by voting to restrict movement between schools. In athletics, that translated to the eligibility of only 2 transferred athletes per class age group category per school. Dakers turns 18 in August of this year. A member of the Greater Portmore Police said that the situation is far more complex than a simple child abduction. The situation needs to be resolved between mother and the son. That is the important thing at this time. Based on the communications between the police and Dante, he is not missing and he is not in danger, the detective who requested anonymity told the news. Reasoning with Dante, it appears that he wants to do what he wants to do. We have to try to preserve the relationship between the mother, who is caring, and supporting the son who needs some form of guidance. Woman charged after 5 firearms and nearly 500 rounds of ammunition seized. A St. James woman was charged with several offenses following an operation by the Joint Anti-Gang Task Force in Green Heights Mews Green Pond in St. James, which resulted in the seizure of 5 firearms, including 3 rifles and 466 assorted rounds of ammunition on Thursday, July 13. She is 48-year-old Cheryl McCallum, an entrepreneur of Green Heights Mews Green Pond in the parish. Reports are that about 4:30 a.m., lawmen were in the area when a premises that was occupied by the woman was searched. During the search, 3 rifles, 2 pistols, 191 5.56 and 265 9mm rounds of ammunition were found in her possession. McCallum was subsequently taken into custody and was charged with the stockpiling of prohibited weapons, dealing in prohibited weapons, 16 counts of possession of prohibited weapons, unauthorized possession of ammunition, possession of assorted parts of firearms, and unauthorized use of premises for storage of firearms and ammunition. Her court date is being finalized. Little man charged with murder. The St. Andrews South Police have charged a 35-year-old man with several offenses in relation to the shooting death of a man and the injury of another on 440 Drive in the parish on Wednesday, June 28. He is Andre Hoffman, otherwise called the Little Man, an electrical engineer of 440 Drive, Kingston 11. Dead is 22-year-old Devontae Gallimore, otherwise called Bob, a laborer from the area. Hoffman was charged with murder, conspiracy to murder, being in possession of a prohibited weapon, being in possession of prohibited ammunition, wounding with intent, and using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony. Reports are that about 7:30 p.m., Gallimore and another man were partying at the Sandy Gully Bank in the parish when they were allegedly pounced upon by Hoffman and his accomplices, who shot at them several times. The police were alerted and they were taken to the hospital, where Gallimore was pronounced dead and the other man was admitted for treatment. A report was made to the police and Hoffman was arrested. He was charged after he underwent a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. Hoffman's court date has not been finalized and his accomplices are being sought by the police. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.